The Sigma is newer, sharper and more compact, but it has less reach and no optical stabilization. The Tamron is chunkier, offers way more reach and stabilization, but it's also more expensive. And yet, after using both of these lenses, I kept the Tamron. So, is it better? Well, it really depends on you. Let me explain. I've used both lenses extensively and I love them both. And just to clarify, there are plenty of side-by-side comparisons on YouTube, so this isn't one of them. Instead, I want to focus on 5 types of shooters and which lens might suit them best, helping you decide which one to get. And by the way, I got some really cool gadgets in the mail today, so stick around until the end if you want to see what's new. Now let's start with the beginner or casual, bring my camera to vacations to take the photos of my family type of photographer who either does not have any lenses or wants to upgrade from the kit lens. For you guys, I think the Sigma will work the best purely because of the size and weight. Often, like chunkier lenses seem just way too overwhelming, and planning that all-day trip you might feel like leaving Tamron behind. And for the casual photos, be it family, just some shots on the go while traveling, the zoom range will certainly work great, both on the wide end as well as zoomed in, and that small form factor will not be a burden to carry around. And besides, for most of you, the F2.8 will almost feel like you don't even need a prime lens, especially if you are coming from the regular Sony's kit lens. If you shoot mostly video, I did go with the Tamron. I know people talk about stabilization issues with cameras with IBIS, for example A6700, but personally I don't see it as a problem. I made a whole video about it, so just check it out and verify for yourself. In fact, I see it as a huge plus. It allows me to shoot handheld, run and gun style video, without worrying too much about these micro jitters, especially if you use on cameras without IBIS, like the A6400 for example. Now also with the extra reach and using just one lens means I don't have to swap ND filters or recalibrate gimbal for that matter. The Tamron just makes more sense for the video work. Honestly, neither. If you shoot portraits or low light scenes, a prime lens with a wide aperture is better tool for the job. But if I had to pick one, honestly, it's a toss-up. Tamron gives you more compression at 70mm, it's great for portraits. Sigma is sharper, making portraits extra crispy. Tamron stabilization helps in low light, but Sigma size is easier to handle. So really, just, pick based on what matters most to you. So most landscape photographers use a tripod, so stabilization isn't gonna be a big deal. And if you're shooting at f7.1, f8 or higher, sharpness differences don't really matter either. So it comes down to, do you want something lighter? Go with Sigma. Do you want more reach on both ends? Go with Tamron. Now when it comes to architecture, remember that 1mm on the wide end makes more of a difference than 1mm on the telephoto end, especially when shooting real estate indoors with tight spaces. That's why I would pick Tamron for this group, although I must mention that you probably wouldn't do professional real estate photography with either of the lenses. You would need something much wider like Sigma 10 to 18mm f2.8 for example. Okay, and finally, people like me. I travel to remote locations, carry minimal gear and shoot both photos and videos at the same time. Honestly, it's a mess. Even though I love the Sigma, with heavy heart, I got rid of it and got the Tamron. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. More reach for the photos, stabilization for videos, one lens instead of two. I kind of repeat myself. Sure, it's bigger, heavier and pricier, but I was thinking to myself, I'd rather carry one versatile lens than constantly switch between multiple ones. Well, I say that, but actually I do pair it with a tiny 11mm Yongnuo f1.8 for wide, landscapes and vlogging, plus a 35mm or 56mm f1.7 Viltrox Air for that nice prime lens look. They're so tiny that carrying them literally doesn't hurt. Honestly, both lenses are amazing, so don't sweat it. Whichever you get will get the job done. And if you've gotten this far, I want to show you something really cool what I got. Rechargeable batteries? Now hold on, I know nothing new, but look, freaking USB-C port. How cool is that? No more chargers. These ones are from Nightcore and it's a game changer in my opinion. Oh, and I also got this super cool slider from Axon called Top Rig S60. Came in a pretty neat box, then in another box, and then in a secure case. It's super quiet, runs on the regular NP batteries, has an app of course, and you can program the AB points and whatnot. The slider is usually quite expensive, but this one is more affordable, so if you want to get one, I'll leave a link in the description. Wow, if you've gotten this far, then you must be a subscriber already. I appreciate it, my friend. Cheers and keep on creating.